Hello, welcome to a fresh series of discourses from me. So, the theme of these discourses is Voyager integration, philosophical integration. So, many of you watching these discourses would have read through this Voyager book, a very strong, powerful work, and I sense reading Voyager has really brought up a lot of challenges for people, and at the same time, it's opened them up on a very profound level to the truth of a higher dimensional reality and a physical ascension. Now, the purpose of philosophic integration of the Voyager book is to come into a deeper understanding of what Voyager means for you. What do all those astral experiences that you've had through using the ayahuasca or through other means, all those visions, all those journeys, all the glimpses that you got into those higher dimensional realities, what do they mean for you here on this earth, in this body? Now, that's the purpose of philosophic integration. It's about bringing all that higher dimensional understanding from the astral into your earthly life and transforming the earthly vehicle, the earthly body that you're in now, is the focal point of awareness. You can go into the astral and have many, many journeys with ayahuasca or all kinds of other means, but ultimately you are living in a body in the physical plane on Earth, on a planet that's got a lot of societal issues, and there's the spectre of collapse hanging around in the background. So, for all those reasons, it's important to do the philosophic integration in the body in meditation to balance and to come into a deeper understanding of the many visions that you've had. Now, one of the main reasons why it's necessary to come back into the body in a very strong manner is so you can get the second perspective on the many astral experiences that you've had. If you drink a lot of ayahuasca, if you go out of your body a lot and have many profound experiences in the higher dimensional worlds, you need to get some separate perspectives on what's actually going on so you can concretely understanding and come into a deeper discernment as to what you're experiencing. If you're only focused on the outer body, if you don't have enough earthly awareness, you're going to come out of balance sooner or later until you readdress that and come back in and do some deeper earthly work. Now, many people seeking many visions, astral experiences, it will seem very boring to do the earthly work, to meditate, to leave ayahuasca away, to go into silence, to withdraw from the outer world and to live in monastic conditions. This isn't very appealing. This is very boring for many people. It doesn't have any appeal to it. Thus, it's only something you can do on a very advanced path. You need to have purified your ego enough so that it's not constantly kicking out fresh reasons to go and get caught up in distractions in the outer world to pull you off center. And you also need to have gone through all the earthly experiences that you're supposed to go through. You know, every human being, I sense here, has a blueprint of what they need to go through in this life in the outer in terms of earthly experience. And I sense only when each person has really done that in the outer can they then come back in and do a deeper philosophical integration of Voyager? I sense when that hasn't happened, if people try to come in too quickly and go into the Voyager astral states without doing the outer balance in terms of life experience, sooner or later karma will like push you back out there, and you'll have to go through some experience or another, some learning or another in the outer to purify off the earthly karma, so you can then come back into an integrated astral state in the body and then do a deeper spiritual work. Now, philosophical integration, philosophy, it's beyond mysticism, and mysticism includes the use of plant medicines to have astral visions and to induce out-of-body experiences. No matter what you experience in plant medicine, ayahuasca, no matter how much medicine you drink, you're always going to be having a mystical experience. Now, in the mystical experience, you are seeing, you're having a perspective on a higher reality. You're not becoming that higher reality, you're only seeing. Now, you can be very consumed and overwhelmed by what you see in the other realms. You can be mesmerized or dazzled, you can have some extreme enlightenment experiences, you can become very illuminated, you can have some amazing heart opening experiences, you can have some pineal gland activations, you can even have the crown chakra opening, and you can be catapulted into the furthest far out dimensions in the universe, and you can have the most amazing interactive experiences with higher dimensional beings, loving ET, star being source. But all of that is only mystical experience. It's seeing and experiencing, but it's not becoming, it's not integrating, it's not the final step on the path. It's not ultimate truth. It's seeing the possibility of truth, the possibility of a deeper transcendence on the human condition, the possibility to ascend, the possibility to see where you're going to go after death. It's all about seeing possibilities. In mysticism, that's what you're doing. You're unifying to some extent with the energies of the higher dimensions and starting to open up and have some spiritual experiences. But that is not the end of the journey, because you still have the physical body. No matter how many mystical experiences you have, in the end you'll come back to the fact that you have a body, and you'll come back to the awareness of a body. If you forget about that awareness, or you neglect the awareness of your body and the earthly life while pursuing the mystical path, you will become unbalance that can show up as earthly difficulties, disputes, conflicts, sickness, or all kinds of other trouble in the earthly vessel. So do take this as a salutary warning. Just because you can have lots of amazing visions and travel out of your body and start to become enlightened about the truth of the universe and a higher dimensional reality, that is not everything, because you have to finish off the spiritual work in the body on earth. Now, in my experience and belief, you need 20 years of fortunate earthly conditions in your body to properly integrate the experiences you've had. when I went to the central suns in my astral body, I found I needed several years to integrate the power, the energy, and the insights from those experiences. If I hadn't have stopped pursuing out of body experiences, if I hadn't have left the ayahuasca path behind, I would have been continuously chasing after new astral experiences without unpacking the previous ones into the earthly experience. If you have lots of astral experiences through whatever means, if you don't integrate each and every single one in the body, you'll create a backlog of astral processing. Then what will happen is you'll ascend upwards on your spiritual journey, then you'll come to a glass ceiling, and then there'll be a counterbalancing force, because the karmic density of the human body on earth is pulling you back here to do a deeper work in the material condition. Now, when you have these many astral experiences, when you go through the Voyager book and unpack some of the teachings about the human form being illusory, a dream, and nothing more than an idea, that doesn't mean to say you can neglect the work in the physical body. Now, many people on the spiritual path overlook this, but I can tell you, the more advanced you go in the understanding, the more you want to push through in terms of a physical ascension or becoming a non-returner, the more vital it is to bring all of your astral energy into the body on earth and become much more incarnated. When you have mystical experiences, when you pursue the path of mysticism, you're kind of abandoning your physical form in a way, in pursuit of higher dimensional mystical experience. Now, that's all well and good on a certain point on the journey, because you need to have those journeys, you need to see and glimpse the higher possibilities. But the final stage of philosophy is about integrating it into the body. What does it mean here on earth for you? What does the truth of the Voyager book mean for you in your spiritual practice? You know, these are some of the spiritual questions you can ask yourself, because each and every one of you will have had some very powerful spiritual experiences with seeing the possibility of physical ascension. So philosophy on this path is asking yourself, what does that mean for you, for your life, for your spiritual journey? What do you understand physical ascension to be, to represent? And what do you feel or sense you have to do to make that a more real possibility for you in the earthly condition? Now, I can testify from personal experience. I had thousands of journeys in the astral. I drank a lot of ayahuasca. I had a lot of mystical experiences. And then I was catapulted into the astral on the back of the energy of my twin flame, understanding eternal love and source through an astral union with a twin. Now, all these experiences showed me many visionary and mystical approaches to the matter of physical ascension. But no matter how powerful, amazing, beautiful, and visionary all those experiences were, no matter how much they fluffed up my energy, all of that was nothing compared to the state of stability, power, and knowing in the physical body when I reintegrated myself back in here, when I decided to stop pursuing the outer astral experiences. When I started to pursue philosophy on a deeper level, integration of the wisdom, then I found all those many experiences made deeper sense. It mattered more for me. It was more real. I could interpret more accurately and correctly what was actually happening to me in those experiences. Because when you go into the astral, it's possible to be subject to delusions and illusions. Some shamans will tell you that ayahuasca is the greatest liar. Now, why is that? Now, the reason that it is the ayahuasca can show you astral truth. It can show you a very profound truth, but you can only see the truth on ayahuasca through the filters of your karma. If you don't do a balanced integration on earth, you're going to have a lot of visions on ayahuasca, and you may get sidetracked into illusions. You may think you know ultimate truth, but you might be being deceived by your own ego. Now you can only overcome the deceptive power of your own ego by having two perspectives on the path. So many people drink ayahuasca many, many times and get caught up into this big ayahuasca craze, and they neglect the second perspective of earthly awareness in the body. They don't think it's very important, and then they kind of like get lost in ayahuasca consciousness, cut adrift of grounding and earthly awareness in the body. Then they keep drinking ayahuasca again and again, and then they get caught up in all kinds of illusions. And because they don't have the earthly grounding, their earthly lives start to run into very big difficulties. They get sick, they have problems in their relationship, the abundance dries up, and there's all kinds of other issues that start showing up in the earthly vehicles. This is very important to understand on this path, especially if you're reading this Voyager, the power of this book in terms of showing you a gateway into astral truth. I can testify based on my personal experience, absolutely vital at the end of this path in these final stages on earth. Bring it back all into the body. You need to have power and strength here to face your lessons on earth. You need to be fully present and integrated. You can have all these astral insights and understandings, but it's possible to bring it all into the earthly body when you're strong and powerful in the earthly vehicle. You'll be able to retain that at the point of death or at the point of physical ascension. If you don't have a strong earthly vehicle, you'll have lots of transcendental astral experiences that might be very colorful, illuminating, and mystifying, but they will not translate into true astral power and grounding in the earthly vehicle. See, earthly vehicle that you'll be brought back to again and again. You can see the truth of ascension many times in meditation, astral journeys, dreaming with the macabres, taking the cacao, however you, whatever means you use to trigger an astral journey. Always you're going to come back to the body, so you're going to have to start to ask yourself, why is it when I go to the central suns and I meet star beings and I transcend the human condition, I feel like I'm out of my body and there's no death and everything's immortal? You have to ask yourself again and again, when you have these experiences, why do you come back to the body? why do you keep coming back here? What is that? And what you'll find, or what I found in my practice, is I had to harmonize the two halves of the equation. I found as mystical experience, the astral awareness, but I also found there was the material condition as well. Yes, on one level it's an illusion, yet at the same time I'm incarnated in that illusion. So I had to like reconcile the two parts of my experience so I could come into a deeper, more concentrated energy and power in the body. And that's where the real spiritual work is. Many people are not reinforce the importance of strengthening the physical vehicle. The more astral power you have, the more important it is to be very healthy, strong, grounded, integrated, and conscious in your body. And the gateway to astral integration in the body is simply philosophical integration and awareness of all of your mystical understanding. You go from the mystical path to the philosophic path. You transcend that state of perceived boredom or blankness, this stage of your life when the visions fade and nothing much is going on. It's kind of a stage to work through. When you work through that and you don't get caught up in your ego and get distracted, you'll find if you persevere in monastic sanctum-like conditions, after a few years, the astral awareness will start to open up again, and you'll experience the astral in a much more real and permanent way. You know, you won't be dependent on medicines to get a look at it. When it comes back a second time after the break, you will find it will be far more real, far more permanent, far more established, and far more meaningful. And when that comes back, you want to be respecting that descent of astral grace into the physical vehicle, and you want to be respecting your energy, using the experiences I've written about my life. Use these experiences to understand some of the things I went through and learn how to respect and manage your energy properly, because that's going to be very important. And you will find at the end of the path you're going to have to live in monastic or semi-monastic conditions. You're going to need to retreat from the world. You're probably going to need to leave the ayahuasca away, take up some deeper meditation, perhaps studying philosophy. There's some books I've recommended in that respect. And you're probably going to find you're going to want to lighten up your diet so you can contain the higher energies of the astral. And finally, you're going to want to live in nature, because this is often overlooked, but the earth is a very, very grounding force indeed. So the working ground for some people will be working out their earthly abundance stories so that they can have a retreat center or a sanctum in nature on earth, so you can have the balance in the grounding, because star beings, ETs, other worlds, source, intergalactic dimensions. This is very starry, very astral, very celestial. The perfect balance is strength in the earthly condition, and nature will give that for you if you live in a strong, like natural area where there's plenty of green, far away from the towns, plenty of rocks, rivers, plenty of hiking, and plenty of sunshine, stars at night. You know, all of that natural energy will help integrate the astral experiences you've had, and it will help you to integrate it into the earthly condition. And then you're going to be able to hold on to that for a long time. You know, the ayahuasca, the mystical path, it's all about fleeting astral experiences. You can have the most amazing astral experiences, but it's very fleeting. What we're doing on the philosophical path is to integrate the astral energy so it's more permanent and established. And when an awareness is more permanent and established, you can like get a close look at it, you can unpack it a bit more, and that's how you get closer, one step closer to an understanding of the ultimate truth. You come back into your body with all that astral awareness. You muster up power and strength, and you build the right conditions around yourself, and that will give you the strength and the awareness to go deeper in your own spiritual self-inquiry. And then you'll probably find you will start to reap the fruits of the astral journeys you've had. You'll start to reap the benefits of integrating the teachings of the Voyager, and as a result, your earthly conditions will improve, your power base will become much stronger, and your life will start to open up in the earthly condition, but in a far more harmonized manner, harmonized with the energy of the astral. When you have both of those aspects in balance, the astral and the earthly condition, then you're going to be very strong on the spiritual path, and then ultimately you're going to make more sense of the spiritual teachings. You're going to make much more progress. You're going to be grounded, and ultimately in that grounding you're going to be able to hold a much higher level of concentrated awareness, which is a gateway to going deeper into the truth of the nature of reality. So I think I'll leave it there for this discourse, and I'll pick up on the next discourse about the concentration of awareness and talking a bit more about how to accomplish that in the earthly body. But for now, I'll leave it there, and I'll be speaking to you in the next discourse. Okay, so free spirit out.